A little while ago, I attempted to write a bunch of songs and then record the songs with me playing all the instruments. Not content with that, I then decided to film all the songs, which led me at multiple points to say, I have no idea what I'm doing. Creatively, it was really exciting and I learned a hell of a lot. Logistically, it was perhaps too much to take on and led me to say, how the did Bo Burnham do this? I'm editing together the full thing now, and whilst I'm going through that, I thought it'd be fun to release some smaller videos along the way to have a little peek behind the creative curtain. So if you're interested in the creative process, how to shoot something solo, how to make something from scratch, or you just want to see someone collapse into a puddle of exhaustion in front of you, you've come to the right place. Now, is it possible to shoot an entire film on your own? Yes. The first thing to say is, I'm not a filmmaker. I have a camera, I have some lights, but other than that, I don't really know what I'm doing. I know how to turn the camera on, how to press record, how to make sure it's sort of in focus.
Is that in focus? That's in focus.
But beyond that, it is a little bit of a mystery. So this project forced me in some really tight corners, which I had to figure out how to get out of. By being the writer, the director, the DOP, the head of costume, the best boy, the gaffer, the only department I didn't really get a handle on was catering. I was so engrossed in the making that I got to the end of most days realizing I'd only had coffee. Not a recommend. Now, by doing all of that meant I had no one to turn to delegate responsibility, so everything fell squarely on my shoulders, which meant I just had to figure it out. Now, did I figure out the perfect method? No. But did I figure out a pretty decent method? Also no. But here's the important takeaway. I got it done. It's janky, it's imperfect, certain bits in the editing suite made me cringe and not want to release it. But I made something. It exists. It's not exactly what I had in my head, but with zero budget and zero time, you kind of just gotta do what you gotta do. And those constraints really force you to think creatively and come up with some nice solutions that you perhaps otherwise wouldn't have thought of. If you had unlimited time and an unlimited budget, would you ever do anything meaningful with it? I loved being immersed in the creation part of this. For some of the songs, I had a really clear idea and vision as to what I wanted it to look like, and so set about trying to figure out how to make that work. Other songs, I had no idea what they were going to be, and so I would just set up some shots and shoot and review the footage and see what I liked, see what I didn't, make some tweaks and changes. Some of the songs didn't even exist. Once I started putting some bits together, I realized that there's a gap here between this song and this song, so I wrote a new song to go between the two. And that was a great creative challenge because you can see a beginning and an end there, so you can then figure out the middle part more easily. And then I'd have to go back and film something for that. So for Save Me, I had this really clear idea that I wanted the camera to revolve and reveal multiple versions of myself. I didn't really know how to do that, but I knew that's something I wanted to attempt. For other songs like Head vs. Heart, I didn't really have a clear idea of what I wanted to do, so I just had to shoot and then tweak. So the execution of this idea, panning up to the beam, then back down to the other side of the room, didn't really work, so I abandoned it. However, it's not wasted time. I learned a little bit more with each experience and then managed to fold that into the next time I set up a shot. It was the doing that was the important thing, not whether or not it was a success. Also, because I wanted to shoot the entire thing in the bedroom and the room that I'd spent the last 8 or 9 years in, the limited space to shoot in was definitely an obstacle. But again, that becomes a creative constraint. It meant that I didn't have to worry about changing locations for every song. I could play with different angles and see how the light played differently on different aspects of the room. I could learn things within a controlled environment. But when you're renting a room in London and it's a struggle to fit all your things in anyway, where does all your stuff go when you're filming? If the room looks tidy in the shot, more than likely the clutter is either hiding behind or slightly underneath the camera, or was all forced out into the little toilet that was across the hallway. When I came to shoot for the first day, I realized that most of the space was taken up by my bed, so I dismantled it, took it out into the hallway, and then did my first day's worth of shooting, which was really exciting. And then when it came to the end of the day, I was about to set it back up, but thought, well, I'm just gonna have to dismantle it again tomorrow and keep doing this back and forth, so I just left it in the hallway. So for the month that I spent in my room filming this, I slept on the floor, sleeping on the floor, forgetting to eat. I suppose I'm not really painting a great picture of life as a solo artist. So I suppose the real question is, should you shoot an entire project on your own? No. or at least don't make a habit of it. By all means, go and solo create. At the beginning of this journey, you don't have budget, you don't have a lot of time, so you're just grabbing it here and there. But you learn so much by doing that. You make so many discoveries when you're just in the thick of making and challenging yourself. But I do think that collaboration is key. In my day-to-day life as an actor, I'm collaborating all the time with my peers. It's so exciting to meet people who inspire you and excite you and challenge you, and you get to learn from them, and in turn they get to learn from you, and it becomes this back and forth relationship where you're both encouraging each other and challenging each other to grow. You're jamming, essentially. Making together is definitely the way forward. The project Before I Go is an incredibly personal one for me, and that was the other reason that I wanted to shoot this solo. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it. I wasn't even sure whether I'd release it, because it is something from here and it feels like very wrapped up in a lot of different emotions. And so the idea of having a full crew with me in my room as I tried to figure some stuff out felt very exposing. I wanted the opportunity to explore and create and experiment without the pressure of people knowing I was up to something or the pressure of releasing something. Now that I've made the commitment to send it out into the world, I won't shut up about it really. It's probably becoming quite annoying. But at the time, it was really special and really important to me that it was just my thing. Maybe one or two people knew about it, but the rest of my friends just thought I went AWOL for a bit. Hunkered down in my room for a month, 2 months, just shooting away and hoping for the best. But hopefully, the full thing will be out soon. I might release a few more videos along the way to build intrigue, probably mostly likely me stalling for time whilst I finish off the full thing, because I think it's going to be about 50 minutes or an hour long, so it's not a small chunk of time. And like I say, the whole thing is new to me, including the editing and what I want to do, so it's a big steep learning curve. Anyway, this is the first sort of video I've done like this. This feels a bit weird and awkward. If you're my friend watching this, hi, how you doing? If you're a stranger on the internet watching this, hey, nice to meet you. If it's my mum or my dad, love you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this thing will be with you soon. Woo!